notice.
طلع الأرنب. مسكه روح مسكه خليه مسكه.
It's going, it's happening.
The Gulf is a land of excess beneath a veil of restraint where capitalism and Islam jostle for pride of place. When every young man has money to burn, but is limited by the restrictions of Islam, he has to spend it creatively in order to stand out from the crowd. This has caused a wild trend to emerge among the young elite. One by one, people started collecting wild animals as pets and posting pictures of them online, clocking up thousands of followers around the world.
I get it. I get why this is a thing. These images are nothing if not compelling. I'm even guilty of following these guys on Instagram. But this trend is highly illegal. In spite of that, every day more and more of these images appear on Instagram. More and more of these guys crop up with their huge felines.
So what was driving the Gulf's appetite for wild pets? I headed out to Kuwait, where the trend is prolific. If you live in Kuwait City and you want to go pet shopping, your first stop might be the Friday market. Although I was captivated by the otherworldly charm of this colourful bazaar, the pets on sale here felt more like a novelty commodity than a new family member. Baby bunnies dressed up like toys were bagged up to be carried home like groceries. Baby chicks dyed bright colours like pick and mix in a candy store. Most of the cats and dogs looked distinctly depressed, and others, well, dead. Banned exotics and wild species like big cats are not on sale here. In theory, you don't even need to leave the comfort of your own home to shop for one of these, because they're mostly advertised on the internet.
It's as easy as acquiring a cupcake. First, you could either call or SMS the number provided, mostly on Instagram and some free apps. And this is all done in the open. This wasn't an underground website or a forum. These are all public sites.
When did you start noticing the trend for exotics?
2012. I mean, at first it was an elephant, a baby elephant, and then a cheetah, a lion cub.
If you look at Instagram,
Yes,
approximately how many animal owners are there in Kuwait?
a few hundreds.
And what about sellers?
Anywhere between 40 or 70. He, by the way, he runs a dogfighting ring.
Oh dear.
He's a law enforcement officer.
Oh wow.
Yes.
How does the local media handle this trend?
They're proclaimed as heroes, like the cheetah tamer. That's the title. King of the jungle.
One of the original and most notorious examples of this phenomenon is a man known to his followers as Swackle. Swackle, real name Mohammed Turki, is somewhat of a modern-day Renaissance man. Soldier, sporting champion, family man, big cat whisperer.
We've arrived at this sort of area on the edge of the desert where all these wealthy guys with animals keep their, I suppose I would call them animal management centres.
This is Mohammed's property. He comes here to chill.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, he comes check on the animals. This is his sanctuary. That's what it is. He's gonna get a dolphin and put him right here.
At the time of filming, Swackle's pet collection consisted of lions, horses, birds, dogs, meerkats, a monkey, and a cheetah.
Come.
Mohammed, is this safe for us to be in here?
Yeah, safe, come.
You've domesticated this cheetah as much as you can, right? Is there any danger now?
أول شيء الشيتا هذه رابية من هي صغيرة لين كبرت في البيت داخل البيت. فيعني إن شاء الله إنه ما في خطر. والشيتا من طبعها حيوان دفاعي مو حيوان هجومي يعني.
Did you study wild animal behavior? Did you have to like read up on it a lot before you got into owning these animals, or did you just kind of learn as you went along?
ما درست دراسة فعلية عن الحيوانات. فأنا أكثر خبرتي اكتسبتها بالتربية يعني اكتسبتها من نفسي إن أنا جربتها بنفسي. ليش خايفة؟ خلينا نلعب عادي.
I don't think I'm ready for this.
When he's not in army training, Swackle likes to let off steam with a day out in the desert. The plan for today was to go out hunting with birds of prey, Saluki hunting dogs, the cheetah, and a convoy of Swackle's entourage.
We're going hunting. Yeah? Hello. Oh. Is that supposed to happen? The cat's on the loose. The cat's on the loose. The cat's on the loose. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Wow.
Immediately as it was loose in public, I was quickly reminded that this was very much a wild animal, and furthermore an illegal one.
What would happen if it escaped?
She's not gonna escape.
Can you try faster than the cat?
Of course.
Swackle's vision for today was to try to recreate an arcane hunt practiced by the Arabian ancestors, where pet cheetahs are released in the desert in pursuit of defenseless prey, as seen in this YouTube clip. Today's hunt was brimming with modern-day distractions. Cars, cameras, walkie-talkies, smartphones, and a drone. With the sun threatening to set on us, tensions were running high over how to coordinate the hunt.
فين يلا تعال قدام. وخر عنا خليك استمر لا تنزل.
But sitting here, you know, he's just my pal. He's panting like a dog. He looks like a wild beast. But we're cool. Hey guy. Hey look. Oh, yeah.
يلا جو. خالد من تصيد نزل الطيارة.
It's about to happen.
هد علينا هذا.
It's going, it's happening. Oh, that didn't last very long. That was a bit of an anticlimax. We had all the king's horses and all the king's men ride out into the desert with much ado. And when we got here, it didn't go exactly as planned. I think it might have been a case of too many cooks.
All the chaos, plus a hare that was already on its last legs, and a cheetah with a muted killer instinct. And the result was rather underwhelming.
This is the calm after the storm. The thrill of the chase has died down. The sun's setting. They've pulled out the blankets. We're going to drink some juice. Why is it important for you to carry on some of these traditions?
This is how we appreciate what we've been through.
Yeah.
You know, we have to keep it alive forever. Even the new generations. If we give up on this, we give up on our identity.
صاحي لهم اسمح يا عم تشطف يا عم
بس ياض
خلاص يلا تفضل بس رب الكعبة الإيرانية رايحة عزم
ده بيسموه الستايل.
الله أكبر.
After the testosterone overload, the desert transformed from a giant sandpit for adults into a place of calm contemplation and worship. Wherever you are in the world, boys will be boys. As day turned to night, we shot the shit around the campfire.
One,
Tight.
safe. One,
Okay.
two, three.
Go. Okay, go.
I didn't really understand the point of firing off rounds into the empty night sky.
Why aren't we aiming at anything?
But the adrenaline high it gave me afterwards made me think that this sort of futile pastime might be a substitute to drink or drugs. It struck me that while the desire to have a pet cheetah might seem unethical, it could be rooted in the fact that wild animals have played an important cultural role in the history of the region.
There's a certain allure to these animals, and the thought of being close to a cheetah is an amazing experience. But I think for many of us, there's something that stops us from going that extra mile and saying we're actually going to acquire one because we realize it's wrong. No matter where you look in the world, the desire to keep these animals as pets, whether they're lions or tigers or cheetahs, is all about status, sort of human bravado, really. And when you have an animal that costs about $10,000 per individual, it's a sign of that wealth and that status, and that's really what drives the trade. When you're able to drive around town and you have that cheetah on a leash in your Mercedes-Benz, it's a status symbol.
The guys cashing in on the trend are easy to find online. We managed to track down a big cat seller who was willing to show off his wares on camera.
Oh my God. Is that love? Jesus Christ. That is a cat fight of epic proportions.
الحيوانات اللي يحبونها أكثر اللي فيها رغابة أكثر اللي هي الشيتا. الناس تحبها في قلة شراستها.
On Instagram, you have so many followers and you're so popular. Anyone trying to enforce a law could just find you on Instagram and call you up. Do you ever worry about that?
ممكن يشوف بالحساب بس مو عارف وين موقعي تقريبا. أنا ما عندي موقع واحد، أنا أكثر من موقع. خوفاً على سلامة حيواناتي لا تتصادر.
And how much do these cats sell for?
كل شكل له سعر وكل طبع له شيء يعني طبع الحيوان نفسه هل شرس هل زين مع الكل يعني يمشي مع الكل له سعر أغلى واللي إذا كان الشكل حلو والجسم والنوع إذا كان حلو يكون سعره هذا سعره تقريبا 4000 إذا صار موضة يعني مثل الشيتا ارتفع سعرها بشكل خيالي.
Have you ever been hurt by any of these wild animals?
هو تعامل الأسود تقريبا في عوار لازم تتعور الإنسان لازم يتعور منه الأسد تقريبا لازم يتعور منه لما تلعبين وياها أكثر لعب شوي المزح ثقيل.
Please don't lose control of her. Oh God!
دم طلع مني.
Does it hurt you? He's bleeding a bit. Are any of the animals that you sell captive bred or do most of them come in from the wild?
هي تقريبا مهربة من زمان وموجودة في شبه الجزيرة العربية. هي مرة واحدة يعني تقريبا اللي جبت من برا أنا شخصيا جبت من برا ودفعت غرامة.
Big cats are not native to the Gulf. They start their life in the wild in East Africa, where they're kidnapped as cubs before being smuggled off the continent. That journey starts on the shores of the Horn of Africa, where they're loaded onto boats destined for the southernmost tip of the Middle East, Yemen. Due to its geographical location, Yemen has become the entry point for nearly every illegal commodity on its way out of East Africa. This footage was captured by Joe Sheffer, a video journalist who spent time investigating animal trafficking in the contraband capital of the Middle East.
So we went down to the market and we literally asked, has anyone got a nimr, a tiger for sale? And within 2 or 3 minutes, we were following a boy on a motorbike off to a house. There were 2 baby cheetahs for sale and they were offered to us. People are completely unaware, and we're not talking a few cheetah cubs here. We are talking, in the peak season, hundreds of wild-caught cheetah cubs. For those people, although they realise it's illegal, it's just another commodity. They pull up on the beach, animals, drugs, whatever you want are loaded, and they then hot-foot it back to Yemen. You've got a very fast highway. It's actually probably the fastest road in Yemen that essentially runs all the way to the Saudi border. And you could almost say it's like a smuggling superhighway.
So what you're saying is, if the demand from the Gulf doesn't slow down, then this trade isn't going anywhere?
100%, that's for sure. East Africa's population of cheetahs specifically, but also leopards, big cats and wildlife will be decimated by the Gulf's appetite for wildlife.
I wondered why no one was cracking down on the big cat men, especially when they're so easy to find on the internet. I wanted to speak to the Kuwaiti authority in charge of enforcing the law.
No. Okay, I'll try that. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.
They repeatedly denied my requests. Finally, they diverted me to the zoo, where they said I could speak to a scientist so long as I didn't ask anything too political.
The zoo is about the only government-run exotic animal institution in the country. That means it's the only place that has the authority to deal with exotics. None of the other animal sanctuaries or vets do.
The real problem that we have with the zoo, we really have barely any space left. We have 4 lionesses and 2 lions in one cage right now, and 3 of them were confiscated. Once a wild animal has been tamed or has been in captivity for a long while, they can't be returned to their natural environment. They have to be either maybe in a rehabilitation center or a sanctuary that would feed them, because they can't rely on themselves. They can't go back to their wild ways and hunt. They're not in tune with that. And we don't have a program to rehabilitate. And this is what I beg of people in Kuwait, please stop it, stop it. First of all, they're gonna harm you. They may cause you diseases. They might hurt your family, your children. Think of your children. How could you bring an animal like that, And think of the poor soul that you dragged out of Africa to bring here just for your own selfishness. I mean, it's selfish. We don't want to hear in the news, oh, somebody got killed. It's just not right.
And the majority of these exotics owners, they tend to be from one demographic of like wealthy, elite men. And I haven't seen any evidence of the law actually stepping in. Do you think that those men are almost untouchable when it comes to them being prevented from doing what they want to do?
That's a political issue it comes down to politics. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty, but it comes down to politics and who you know and whatnot. In Kuwait, it's very easy to kind of get by with things that are not necessarily good for you. Yeah, it's very tricky.
From what I could tell, the people who own big cats might be the sort of people with influence in society. Even if they themselves might not be authority figures, chances are they have friends in high places. This may go some way to explaining why they're able to live above the law. Swackle was staging one of his Instagram shoots at his friend's house. The stars of the shoot were his lions, so he invited me to come along and meet them.
It's the most G'd out pad I've seen in a long time. Oh my God, look at this stuff. There's like a load of supercars lined up. Wow, this is so cool. Where are we?
بالمزرعة أحسن. كل الناس بالمزرعة، ما بي أحد يدنا بالبيت. مشكلة. إيه أحسن مزرعة، لأن إحنا ترى بالكويت مشكلة ذا الأسود مش بالبيت، فما حد يدري يعني.
Before I met the big cats, Swackle thought it best to ease me in with smaller versions.
I like him.
This scenario felt familiar. These guys felt like pets, if a little boisterous.
مهيب.
The meerkat's asleep in my lap. Hi, baby. Oh, look, I'm feeding a baby lion.
اسمه مهيب. مهيب هذه أعلى رتبة عسكرية ما سواها إلا صدام حسين. الله يرحمه.
Do you ever wish that he wouldn't grow?
لا أتمنى يكبر لأنه كذي وايد مزعج. وايد اهتمام وايد عناية. كني قاعد أربي إياه الصغير. فأتمنى إنه يكبر عشان يعتمد على نفسه. ياخذ مني وقت أكثر.
It's gonna bite me. People actually say to you, you should take your pets and put them back in the jungle. What do you say to that?
أنا لما يسألوني هالسؤال صراحة ينرفزوني، لأن اللي يسوي نفسه أنه هو مهتم بالحيوانات وقلبه على الحيوانات ورجع الحيوانات، هذا كله تفلسف زايد. هو يعني شنو مصلحة الحيوان؟ أنت قلبك على الحيوان، تحب أن الحيوان يعيش حياة كريمة ولا تحب أنه يعيش حياة يقعد يمكن اليوم ياكل، يمكن 10 أيام ما ياكل، يمكن أقل جرح يصير فيه بكتيريا ويموت. فإذا كان قلبه على الحيوان، أنا أشوف أن الحيوان بالأسر عايش حياة كريمة أفضل من أنه يكون بالغابة على قولتهم. تعال خلينا نشوف الأسود. حياكم.
Swackle is trying to contrive a scene that we might see on his Instagram, and it's like he's got the world and his wife here to witness it. This feels a bit like zoo animals, circus animals. When they have to put animals in films in Hollywood, you have like an animal handler and animal behaviorists. It doesn't seem that different to that. These aren't pets. There's no way that this kind of animal can be a pet. I don't see how it's possible. Why do you want to create these images?
بس شو كذي، بس وناسة كذي، شو صور حلوة، لقطات حلوة تونس الناس لما تشوفها، بس مجرد شو يعني، ما في شيء.
How many times a day do you Instagram?
يعني أسوي مرتين 3.
And how many followers do you have now?
301. نزلت أنا البرنامج وشيكت عليه 38% من جمهوري بأمريكا.
A little birdie tells me you're allergic to cats.
فيني حساسية أنا من القطاوة ومن أكل البيض، والفصيلة مالت الأسود تعتبر من القطط، يورم جلدي ويصير أحمر.
So that's true love.
أكيد.
It was time for me to meet the grown lions. Although I trusted Swackle to ensure my safety, I was all too aware of the power imbalance here.
The idea that I'm seeing lions and I'm standing behind a fence, I feel like, I shouldn't go in there. So, because it goes against everything I've been taught.
خلاص أنا راح أدخل قبلكم الحين، راح ألعب وياهم شوية، ولما أشوف الأمور أوكي 100% راح أقول لكم تعالوا بدون خوف، وأنا لو في أي شيء راح أقول لكم ردوا، وبعد راح أدخل كم واحد معاي من الشباب سيفتي. أوكي؟
And do you give them sedatives or anything like that?
لا ولا شيء.
I've seen this before on Instagram, but it's really, trust me, completely different being here in person.
عادة أنا ما أربطهم كلش، اليوم رابطهم عشانها. كم دين؟ الخطوة الأولى ما تكون خايفة، بس هذا أهم شيء. touch.
Hello, lion. Nice lion. Wow. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. Hello. Should I? No? Okay.
Come on. Come sit here. Don't worry, sit.
Have they ever hurt anybody?
I didn't really know what to expect, and from that point, I'm not really sure what happened.
Don't worry. Everything good? يلا go شيلها بسرعة. Okay. Is it heavy?
It was like a religious experience.
If you've never been mounted by a 400-pound pregnant lioness, then let me tell you it's not as romantic as it sounds. For those few seconds, I surrendered to my fate.
Okay.
I feel quite emotional.
أنا ليش وخرتش بسرعة؟ لأن بديتي تخافين، لما بديتي تخافين وحش انتبهت، لما انتبهت إنك بديت تخافين بدأت تمسكك أكثر عشان لا تركضين. عندي اقتناع إذا الأسد فكر يقتل راح يقتل، ما في أحد يقدر يوخره.
I feel like I had as positive an experience with the female lion as I ever need to have in my life. I didn't die, and I maybe don't want to hang out as much with the male lion. How would you feel if they were taken away from you?
أنا أحبهم لدرجة إني ما أفكر إني أعيش بدونهم أو ما راح أستوعب إني أعيش بدونهم، فما أظن إني أقدر أتخلى عنهم أو إني أفقدهم.
The fact that I could survive a situation like this felt like cheating nature. I left Kuwait feeling like I'd lost one of my 9 lives. With a lack of regional debate over animal welfare, and the authorities showing no sign of cracking down, I feel like people will keep aspiring to this trend without questioning the legal or moral implications. It felt like it would take something drastic to make the Kuwaiti authorities pull their finger out. A week after our return to London, someone was killed by a lion in Kuwait. Lourdes Abuela, a Filipino maid, was mauled by one of her employer's pet lions after its cage had been left unlocked. Her employer can't be named for legal reasons, but we can tell you he was a soldier who had 2 lions, one of which was pregnant. He took Lourdes to hospital, telling the doctors her injuries were caused by a dog. Hospital staff voiced suspicion that her injuries were too extreme to have been caused by a dog. She'd lost her left arm and part of her abdomen. Lourdes remained in hospital for a few days before dying of complications. An investigation was launched which led to a confession by her employer. In an attempt to cover the evidence, he'd killed his lions and burned their bodies in a remote desert area. The government of the Philippines is in the process of suing on grounds of criminal negligence. The soldier was jailed for 10 days and is currently out on bail awaiting trial.